haven't seen you this week, and it's been a big week for us.
It has.
Kate.
It's been extraordinary. It's the first time I've been on since, sadly, we heard of Derek's passing last Friday. And I just thought it'd be all right to take a moment. Firstly, on Kate's behalf, I spoke to Kate last night, and she again reiterated what she said on Monday, which is a huge, huge thank you to everybody who has sent her a message or sent the family a message. I'm sure you've had this. I'm sure we've all had this. I've been stopped by people in the street. I got stopped by a woman who sadly lost her father that day, who'd been suffering for a long time with dementia. And she said, you know, my dad has been ill for about the same period as Derek has. It's a very different condition. But we've watched Kate and her family and the courage that they've shown go through the last nearly 4 years, and then he had passed away not long after Derek had. And she said, I just, you know, it's been such a power of strength to watch her, to see her keep going, because you have to keep going. And stories like that and messages like that I've received through my DMs and on the street and from friends has been so overwhelming. And that's what Kate said. She just can't explain how important that has been for her all the way for the last 4 years. To know that there's so much support for what she's been through and that what she has shared, and that's been a really big decision for them to share it, has had a huge impact. She said she's sort of in a strange bubble of her own numbness of grief at the moment. She, Billy and Darcy are hunkering down together. Her mum and dad, her amazing mum and dad have been with them, who are just remarkable. So she's got all the right people around her. And, you know, she wanted everybody to know that she will be back as soon as she can. They're in the sort of the next stages of working out what happens. There's a lot of admin that has to happen.
So much to do.
When you lose somebody. And in that brilliant way, yesterday, she said, I had to go out because I had to register the death. I had to do this official thing. So she said to the kids, or she was talking to Darcy, she said, look, I'm going to have to go out and do this. I'm going to have to go out of the house, which is a big thing. And Darcy said, Mum, I know this is going to be really hard. But can I make one suggestion, please? She says, of course you can, darling. Can you take the Christmas jumper off and can you brush your hair? And there's that brilliant moment that Kate just burst out laughing because as she said to me, you know, the clocks stopped for us those few, just before Christmas, when Derek had that heart attack. And she's just starting to come out of that. But we all know that Kate, in the run-up to Christmas, wears a different Christmas jumper every day. She supports the charity. Every day she wears one. She has got more Christmas jumpers than a superstore selling Christmas jumpers. And suddenly she realises yesterday that she still had it on.
She's still dressed like then.
She was then. Everything froze in time at that point. So now it's about the next part of his journey, which she will share when she can. Obviously, there's a process to go through. But it was basically to reiterate, and I can't underestimate how important that's been for me and how special it is to know that people around the country, people around the world, strangers who we don't know, but are connected to all of us through this programme. It's just, as Kate said, it's a constant reminder how special this environment is.
Yeah, it really is.
That you, as viewers, feel connected to us in a way that we can't possibly put our finger on.
We did, you know, I don't know if you watched on Monday, we did lots of special tributes throughout the show. Dr. Hilary was here and Richard Arnold and myself. You know, we all spoke about the kind of messages that we were getting. The show was absolutely inundated by all of you watching on Monday. And I think we know that, and, you know, it really reminded me of our Million Minutes Loneliness campaign, actually, because we support Grief Encounter in there. And we only just finished that at the end of December, and there's a sort of strange overlap of that, of what we do here, and that campaign has been so amazing because grief is a really lonely time.
It really is.
It is one of those, and actually getting out and actually, what a privileged position in a way to be able to hear from millions of people, whereas lots of other people suffer alone. And I suppose for those people who suffer grief alone, Kate became their voice and that struggle of carers, and that she will continue to do that, won't she? I'm pretty sure
she's
that
hold on to
is now her...
Absolutely. She's realised how important the social care system is and how much support and help it needs. She's experienced firsthand how difficult it is for families having to go through that, fighting for resources, fighting for help, fighting for care. There's no question. And she did say last night, we were talking about it, you know, the fact that she missed the Million Minutes Awards ceremony because Charlotte stepped in at the last minute. And she said suddenly it's really, really tangible for her. Grief Encounter particularly, with the children as well, and making sure that they've got the support that they need. And those pictures, I'm just looking at those, catching those pictures of Derek and trying to remember, and this is one of the things that she said, is she's trying to collate the memories that she has, the joy and the fun that they shared all the way through. I mean, Derek was an extraordinary force of nature. They couldn't have been more yin and yang, Derek. No. They were properly like an extraordinary team that both needed each other to bring the best out in each other.
So true.
How he put up with her for so many years, I've no idea. How she coped with him as well at times. He was a strong flavour.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you look at any of the profiles on him, he was a absolute dynamo.
There was a whiff of danger about him, as Michael said.
I think that's
which is a great quote.
We went years ago. We went to Legoland. The Kate and Derek and the kids and us. They had something going on, and we had the most hilarious weekend because Derek and Kate were too scared to go on any of the roller coasters. So I was being employed to go on roller coasters with all the kids.
Stunt dad.
Yeah, stunt dad. And then having conversations with Derek while the kids were playing and playing out, and I was just reminding Kate of these conversations that we were having, discussing all sorts of things. And he was very stubborn, and he was very belligerent and very forthright in his views, and so was I. And we're having these... The kids are on a playground swing, and we were arguing about something ridiculous while chicken nuggets were being served.
But Derek was never off duty.
Never.
He was always, you know, that sort of person.
And the thing that always will stay with me is how Kate and Darcy and Bill absolutely were the driving force in everything he did.
Yep.
From when he and Kate got together, his life revolved around the three of them. It was such an extraordinarily powerful thing in his life, those children, and whatever sort of he could do to help them.
Absolutely. Well, you know, everybody sends their love to Kate, and I know, you know, she loves this show. And, you know, as we were saying on Monday, you know, Richard Madeley was here saying, you know, there were times when he was presenting with her and she hadn't slept all night.
Yeah.
But actually, you know, I remember Kate saying, look, being here gives me a sense of normality. Being here is part of who I am outside of all the trauma, outside of all the caring, outside of all the... So this being here in the mornings gave her a sense of who she is as an individual as well, and she will want to come back to that, but there's no rush. And everybody is fully, you know, behind Kate and just... Take your time.
She understands that, but she's also... You know what Kate's like? She has horrible FOMO. She hates the idea that things are happening without her being here as well.
Yeah,
well... I mean, if anything's going on, she has to be in it. She has to be on it. So she's desperate to get back, but when it is the right time to come back, there's a few things, of course, and you will all know what has to happen when you suddenly lose someone in your life. But as soon as she can share those details, she will make sure that people know what's happening and when it's happening.
It's incredible.
And hopefully she'll be back with us soon when she's ready.
Well, that is absolutely lovely. And it's good to have you back, Ben.
Nice to be back.
Yeah, nice to see you.